would represent what? The nominal. Expenditures of good A. Okay, so the other thing that we need to do is we know that px times, qxy. So let me write this down. So the big X here denote the real expenditure on all goods, and denote that by the general price level is given by P. And let's say Q is going to be the implicit price of goods. So what we need to do is, I'm just going to open this sketchpad. So I'm going to erase everything. So what we mean by that is I just want this to be a bit thicker. And maybe, no, that's too thick. But let me go with this pen. And maybe a bit thinner. That shows to be blue. So what we mean by big P here, so the big P represent the general price level, right? So it represents the general price level. And the small p represent the price only of good A. We said that small p times small x represent the nominal price of good A. And what we said as well is that we know that the big P times x is going to be what? The nominal expenditure. All the goods, right? Nominal expenditure of all goods. Having said that, we know that big px is equal to the small px, right? Plus q, where q is a general price level of all the other goods other than A, times the differences in the real expenditures. So when you multiply these two by one another, the price that you're going to get is basically the nominal value. So I'm just going to change color. It's going to be the nominal value of everything, of everything except of all the goods except what? Good A. So if we know that so if we add to it, I'm going to choose another color. So when we add to it the nominal good of A, then we're going to get what? The overall nominal expenditures of all the products. And this inequality or this equality holds. So if we want to solve for Q now, let's solve for Q. So we know that Q times x minus big X minus small x is equal to what? It's equal to big P times big X minus small p divided. So if we have to divide this by this guy, then what do we get? We get Q is equal to big P times x minus small p small x divided by big X minus x. This is gonna be called the price level of all the other goods except what? Except the product A. And this will be shown over here. So if we remove everything, if we close this, you will see that this is over here, right? Now, in particular, suppose that X is the expenditure on the commodity of cat, which in our case is going to be food. P is the price index of P cat. X is TPE, which, the total price expenditure, and P is going to be the price level, right? So it just represents this thing that we just spoke about, which is the ratio of actual to real expenditure of all the prices, or basically the price index of everything. Now that we have said this, we have to go to TSM, and we have to go to setup, transform data, and edit dialog, and click on the formula, and we have to put this formula. So if we go to TSM, we will see that we can open setup, data transformation, and then we have to write formulas. So let's write the formulas down. The first formula that we have to write is qcat, but our cat is food basically, right? So TPE times PE, which is very similar to the, to this thing, right? So P times X minus P times X. So this is what we're writing over here, and we're gonna call this Q food. And then we're gonna hit go, right? So we hit go, and now we have it, you see? And then we have to press new, because the second question is telling you what. So now we have written this down, this formula. The qcat variable should appear in the variable list, which it did. If not, check your formula carefully, but it should be the case. Calculate the cat relative to other goods. Okay, the formula direct, so we have to go and press a new, and then we have to divide pcat, which is the price index of cat of food, divided by q food. Okay, which is the price of other things with the rest of, without the food index. So let's do that. Let's write this down. So we write p pearl. So be careful about, I'm using capital letters. P food divided by q food. In this case, we say that we put go, and then you will have it here, pearl. Express the expenditure and income variables in per capita form. So we have to do this in the same way as before. So what we need to do is we need to write all these equalities, all these new variables that we want to create. So we press new, we write the other formula, which is this guy. Rather than cat, I'm writing food, and then I press go. You can see that food PC is being created, and then we create a new variable, and then we type the other thing, which is TPE PC, TPE divided by pop, and we press on go. You will see it over here. We also do the same thing for the other variable, which is here, and then basically I have to write a new, and then new, and then we write this one. So now we have created this variable. Okay, so I overwrite it, but that should be fine. And these are the variables. Now use next and previous to navigate the list, then press close. So we just press close. Now the last thing that we have to do is to change everything to logarithm, right? So we have done this, step 6, we have to go through step 7. Take the logarithm of the variables you will use in equation. So you have to go the same, we stay in the same place, but what we need to do is we need to select or highlight those categories. So we're gonna highlight those categories, which is gonna take it over here to make things clearer. So cat, which is food, P food, Q food, pearl, TPE and DPI, and pop, and then we have to go food PC, and then we spoke about TPEC and this DPI, and then we have to go to change it for so we want to go into transform, and then we have to go for logarithm. So we look at logarithm. This is not logarithm, here it is, and then we press go. So now we have all our variables to be in logarithmic shape, and then we say step 8 would be save your data by pressing save modified data. So we press on save modified data, and we say save data, we say yes. So now we have a save data. So if you want to look at the data sets, you can see log of DPI and log of food, right? So if you look at log of food, you will see how the general shape is. When you compare it with food, the normal food without the logarithm, to look something like so, which as you can see, this is 650, and over here when you have log food, you will see that it's 6.5. Okay, so we're gonna stop here, and we're gonna continue later on to talk about how to run OLS regressions, and then we're gonna be talking about how to find one-sided one-tail test using TSM. So see you guys